One of the cool things about this movie, about The Best Man for me, is the idea of I think Nicky was saying it's about an 11 or 12-day shoot, but just watching it, it has a maze-like structure. Everyone's just separated all over the place. It's fun to watch, but what was it like to shoot in this sort of scatter shot kind of way, which I thought was pretty cool?
It was definitely never a dull moment. That's for sure. I mean, even the movie's like so fast paced. This production was so fast paced. It was like, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing this, we're doing that. But I mean, you have such incredible you know, crew as well as actors involved in this. So I feel like all of us kind of just molded really, really well into this sort of experience, and we had so much fun doing it.
So I'm gonna put you on the spot. What was Shane like as a director? I'm interviewing him tomorrow. Nikki
Oh,
was saying
cool.
he's pretty laid back and chill, even with all the stress around within that time frame. What was he like from your POV as a collaborator?
Oh yeah, man. Shane was so laid back. Like, and that's kind of really great for an actor because I feel like you can do whatever you want and he's kind of game for it, which is really, really great, especially when you're trying to develop a character and you see her one way and a director sees her another way. So yeah, Shane was amazing. He kind of just he just like released his little birds into the wild and was like, do what you want, which is nice.
Speaking of nice, I was checking out your IG feed and
Ah,
I'm part Thai and I have not been to Thailand since I think 93. So I guess I know you only have so what was it in big picture like that experience? You're shooting a movie, so you're doing it for work, but you're also I hopefully you get us pockets to actually experience the culture. What was that like for you?
I mean, this is my fourth movie in Thailand because of Thailand. I love every time I get a movie to go to Thailand, I'm like, yes, I absolutely, if I could live there, I would. I think it's beautiful. The culture is amazing. The food is wonderful. The people are so great. I mean, it's just a very spiritual place, and I have such a great time every time I go there. It's one of my favorite spots for sure.
That's amazing. I'm Thai, but I feel more American. I can't imagine myself living in Thai. Could you like let's just say you came into like stacks of money and security. Would that be a destination place like as far as living for a period of time for you?
God, yeah, I really could. I really could. I mean, the people are so great. They're actually so nice. Like you can't like I live in Los Angeles. Maybe it's because I live in LA and I'm like, oh, get me out of here. Like
Don't you
everybody.
think I'm in LA too? I'm in Calabasas. Aren't we? We're brethren, aren't we nice? Aren't we nice
But
people?
no, I like it just seems like well, not everyone in LA, but it just seems like so many people are like take, 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 sort of attitude. I'm more of like, let's work together. Let's just like I give, you give, I give, you give. It's just for some reason it's like so hard to find that in LA for me. And I mean maybe I'm too sensitive for Los Angeles. Who knows?
Well, look, one of the cool things about just listening to your podcast is you are sensitive, but you're also open and vulnerable, and you talk scary to me. Obviously, you're going to on the surface level, you're going to get people who are fans of both of your works in the horror and the indie community. But then, can you speak how layered your podcast is, and actually talking about things that a lot of people, even podcasters, like I would never talk about that because I don't have an interesting life, and I'm also scared about opening up. Where does that come from? That sense of opening up?
I'm probably because of this industry, probably because I started so young and I was always surrounded by adults. So I think maybe like the adult subjects of that sort of thing doesn't really scare me. And I grew up listening to a lot of Dr. Drew Loveline. And, my mom was very sheltered with me. Like I wasn't allowed to go to sleepovers, like very sheltered life. So a lot of my experiences happen like after I was 18 years old. I was kind of a late bloomer. And a lot of that did involve like, sex and love and all of that sort of stuff. So I mean, we're all human. We're all like, I feel like, especially with like partnership, I feel like that communication needs to be open. And so if anything that we can give with any like love advice or sex advice, I feel like is just opening up that sort of blockage that's happening with a lot of couples or just a lot of single people trying to find love or whatnot. I mean, Danielle and I are just kind of, that's sort of our interests. It's like is helping people in that sort of department.
Now I think you're 75 at least episodes in. What has been the overall experience for you? Just do you feel like what has been the biggest learning curve throughout this journey, as well as balancing your career as well? So
I guess probably that is like being able to find the time to record, especially because my schedule has been so all over the place. Like when I was filming in Thailand, I was like, I can't record. So we're going to have to record like 6 episodes prior, to like make sure. And then she has kids. And then she's also doing cons and whatnot. So it's like us like trying to figure, like, I just went to Austin and stayed with her for 2 days. And we just like, we had a bunch of guests on, like Jamie Kennedy and Spencer from Ice Nine Kills. And we just kind of like went through 2 days of just like, all right, we're going to like packing in because I'm off to shoot another movie. Cause we don't want to lose it. Cause we really, really do love it. And it's also like therapy for us too. Like we're learning a lot of things as well. We just had our, the last episode, we just had our partners on, which was crazy and interesting.
yeah, how dare you continue to scroll at Bumble? I just turned that Spotify listen off. That was like
yeah. I know. I mean, it was like luck of the draw, man. But like but it's also like that stuff works, when people are like, I'm afraid of these apps and stuff. I'm like, well, there's a lot of success stories as well, like dating is still alive.
yeah. So now what's coming up for you as far as movies? You said that you have the one in Thailand, and have you been just stacking back to back the last?
I've got tons of stuff coming out. I've got 2 rom-coms that I did back to back coming out. And then I've got this one on Tubi, Bury the Bride, which I did with Spider One, that comes out the day after this one, actually. And then a movie with Chrissy Metz that's coming out. And then I have Texas Chainsaw video game coming out. And then I just filmed this one, The Best Man, which I'm sorry, not this one. The other one in Thailand. Oh my God, I'm getting them all confused. Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff, but like also don't have enough for me. I'm like, okay, I'm ready.
Really? You don't like the long time between is it because you're a world traveler, you want to see different cultures, or just work with different crews, and that's something you learned as a youngster? You just like just
I think so. I think it's like it's pretty much like in my blood. So if I'm not doing it, I don't know what else to do. It's like I feel more safe and comfortable and more me when I'm on the set than when I'm off of the set. Yeah. It's like it's my therapy as well.
Speaking of that, in communities, I'm a huge cinephile, but it's only been doing the podcast with my buddies for the last several years that I realized the horror community, they're just really intense cinephiles and they love movies so much. And what have you learned over the years? Just that kind of, obviously it's a diverse community, but they're just so dedicated to the genre and they want to support no matter what.
I mean, but that's what I am. I'm that way with my friends. So it's honestly like I found my people, like I'm equally as supportive and loving and as cool. I mean, they're just like, they're such a rad fan base to have. Like I said, I mean, they would watch me a commercial that I did. Like they would watch it. I think they even did watch a small episode that I did, like a guest star role that I did. Like they will support you until the end. Which is, I don't think you can get out of any other genres, unless you're like an actor in like a Marvel thing. But like, I don't think there's any other genres that like are that supportive and that behind you and will like, protect your life on and off screen.
Yeah. My final question to you, Scott, is this is gonna be a tough one, but from your body of work, can you pick for our listeners one of your movies that you feel is maybe underseen, underrated, that you really love, that you would like our listeners to check out and discuss?
Oh man. That's a tough. 3 come to my mind right now.
Okay,
like,
sure.
what do I want to talk about? I think the Love Ranch, which was a movie that I did with Joe Pesci and Helen Mirren, Taryn Manning, Bai Ling. It was directed by Taylor Hackford.
Yeah.
It was about the Bunny Ranch. And there's like a weird like love story in there as well. But it was, I mean, it's fucking Helen Mirren. It's Joe Pesci. It's, you know, it's like insane that we did this movie. And when it came out, it just didn't really get the recognition that I think that it deserved. That would definitely be one of them. I had such a fun time. I actually filmed that in Albuquerque, New Mexico as well. And it was such a good experience working alongside Helen Mirren. And we actually had a fight scene in that. So not a lot of people can say that Helen is stomped on you and called you a cunt.
I gotta check that out. And before you go, the final two quickly. You said you had a couple more before you, or
oh yeah. The Runaways, I feel like, is another one. I mean, it went to Sundance, but I feel like that's another movie that I really really loved.
a lot of research, right? Playing Lita, I guess.
Oh my God, it was so much research playing her. But I mean, funny story there is like I actually originally wanted to be the drummer because I played drums, and then they offered me the bass player, and then they were having such trouble finding Lita Ford. And we were at band practice one day, and Joan Jett was there every day, and we were just kind of like, you know, going crazy. And Joan was like, "You play like Lita," and she's like, "Do you want to be Lita Ford?" I was like, "Sure." I was like, "I don't know how to play guitar, but here we go." But so I had to like go into band rehearsal before and after set to learn like Lita's riffs and stuff. It was intense, but it was a lot of fun. I feel like if that biopic came out now, it would probably get a lot more recognition. I mean, Kristen Stewart nailed it. So did Dakota Fanning. So Michael Shannon. I mean,
that's
yeah,
amazing. And the last, oh, sorry.
American Crime is the last one with Catherine Keener and James Franco. And actually, Elliot Page. Elliot was Ellen Page at the time. And that was based on a true story. Really messed up true story. You definitely, it's a really, really hard film to watch because of what it's about. A lot of people actually at Sundance had to walk out because of how disturbed they were. But yeah, it was a really incredible movie. And I think Elliot Page, he nailed it. And so did Catherine Keener.
Always love interviewing you. Thank you so much for your time. And is Talk Scary to Me? Is that going to be how many episodes? 500 episodes? Are you gonna go? Is that going to go on for a while?
I don't know until Danielle gets sick of me.
Or until you move to Thailand, right? So
yeah, or until I move to Thailand. I'm like, RIP, bye.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right.